Hey friends. So recently we got invited to a roundtable interview with the cast and creators of My Dad, the Bounty Hunter, which is now available on Netflix. All 10 episodes are available right now for you to watch. The show is it's a lot of fun. It has sci-fi elements. It has great family elements. There's a great dynamic between the parents in this, and it's basically one of the first animated shows that has an African American family. Uh, Out in space. That obviously from the title, you can tell that the dad's a bounty hunter. But the story is just such a great story to watch. The the beginning, I'll just tell you a little bit about the first episode. The dad is kind of not in the family as much as he should be. So this is the weekend that he's going to have the kids with him. And the cool thing is that, even though him and his wife, they're co-parenting, like there's like no, talking down to each other or anything like that. It seems like they're trying to work things out. Uh, but it's such a great the way it's played out. For an animated show, they don't hide the truths or anything, they go there, which is kind of great. So while the father Terry has the two kids, Lisa and Sean, with him, he gets a visit from his employer to go on a mission, but obviously he has his kids with him, so he can't go on a mission. But it's a good paying job, so he decided to take it. And his kids sneak into his car, which is also his vehicle, a spaceship, and then the adventure goes from there. But like I said, it's really great show. I've watched the whole season already. Just like I said, again, the father-daughter relationship in there, a lot of those parts spoke to me. Just trying to be the dad for my kids. Trying to do everything I can for them, and then seeing that in the cartoon, which was great. The son, which is Sean, which is hilarious. Seeing him, his little arc, I guess you could say, from being a shy kid to where he ends up. The daughter again is really great, smart as a whip, and also her arc in the entire storyline is fantastic to watch. Again, it's a really great show. I mean, I highly recommend you watch it. Watch it with your family, or watch it by yourself, which was what I did, and I watched a couple episodes with my kids. But it's such a fun show to watch. I hope that there's more seasons to coming soon, because it's a lot of fun. The animation is great. They go from like the 2D style, like for flashbacks, and then the rest of the shows are the 3D animation. The character designs are great. The aliens that they interact with are pretty awesome. There's a group called the Chilions that are like these little furry creatures that hopefully they make plushies of them or some sort of toys because those are pretty cool to have. Um, and yeah, the voice actors are all the cast is just amazing. Obviously, I'll have it in the description who's in the cast, but it's a great show. That's all I'm going to say. So watch the interview. There's going to be two clips actually, or two videos. This one's going to have the full interview with myself and other parents that were invited to do the roundtable, and then I have a shorter one, which is just my question pulled out, so you can watch that. But again, I recommend watching both of them because it's a lot of work and it was a lot of fun just to be there with all of them in the room, and just talking to the cast, letting them know how much we love the show, and then just hearing their thoughts on the show and their answers. So again, check out the interview. Thank you for watching, and we'll see you again. Bye.
Started and kick it off with Ashley from Ashley and Co.
Hi, everyone. Thanks for taking time to speak with us today. So, my question is for everybody, the cast. What was it about this show and your characters specifically that made you want to join?
I can start. I love the family dynamic of it. I love a wholesome content. It's something that like the whole family can watch. Especially with COVID, it was like everyone was like separated, and then it's like, well, we have to come together, and then it was hard for a lot of my friends that have kids. It's like, well, I don't know what to watch with these people, and I don't want to watch cartoons all day. And then it's like, well, they can't watch Breaking Bad, so it was just kind of the thing of like what can actually unify families, and I thought this was really good without being super saccharine. I mean, we have a family we have a couple that's like separated and trying to co-parent. So that's something very unique and different, but at the same time, it brings the family together. So I love that aspect.
I also loved the fact that from the dad's perspective, a lot of times we talk about absentee fathers, and there have been, in my opinion, a lot of improper imaging of Black fathers that they're absentee. What I loved about this story is that it tells a very well-arced, nuanced story about why he is absentee in his family in the very beginning, and how he could have done things differently, especially if he would have communicated more openly, with his daughter Lisa and with his son as to why he isn't there. So I love the fact that a father and his kids can watch this story and it speak to both of them. It gives both sides the opportunity to tell their story and how they can be better with each other, how they can show love a little better.
I would say for me personally, this movie is like an action comedy. Well, this show, my bad, it's an action comedy animated series that centers a young Black family. And it kind of shows the healthy side of co-parenting, which I feels like that needs to be shown more because nobody really shows the healthy side of co-parenting. And although it's like an animation series, it's also relatable. So when many people can watch it and say, okay, well, this is an animation series, but I can actually like relate to it. And as a young girl who's a teenager going through, that phase with my parents where it can kind of be up and down, I definitely related to Lisa a lot while recording this. So it's relatable to many teenagers.
And I have to say, you were amazing as Lisa. I was like, ooh,
Thank
do I
you.
want
Thank
children?
you so much.
Lisa is giving me vibes of maybe I need to not have children.
Thank you. You do a great job as the mom as well. Everyone does. Everyone does.
No, I was like, oh, that preteen era. Ooh, daddy gonna have to take care of her in the preteen.
Yeah, but I think that it's really amazing that the show even centers around a Black family that, is really healthy with co-parenting, and you know, how it's like so diverse, and how we can just how it's like so all around the place, but also centered at the same time with like the space thing. Like, you don't really find a lot of animated series with the Black family and a Black family that has intergalactic things going on involved with it. And I feel like all the characters just fit so perfectly, with like Lisa being the role model while dad's not away. But when dad comes back, it's like, okay, he better up his game. I'm expecting a lot from him. And then we get into space and we see this. So I think it's just so perfect how it all goes together.
And Jacoby, you are amazing as Sean. Like,
Oh, stop.
you, I won't stop giving you your flowers.
Thank you. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Okay, and next we will move on to Candy Palooza with Candy for your question.
Hi, everyone. Congratulations. It's an amazing and exciting series. We're so excited for February 9th. So my question is for Everett and Patrick. The first episode was released on YouTube. Can you tell us if that was planned or if that was, what was that? What's the story behind that?
It was planned. I mean, they kind of let us know. We had no idea that they were gonna, they had that much confidence in the show. Like, so when they told us that, like, it kind of floored us, but it also made us feel good. It's like, okay, so if they're releasing the episode this early, it must mean they feel good about it, right? And they really want people to see like, hey, this is what you're in store for. What's in store for you.
Yeah, they planned it, not us, but we were like, yeah, sure, that sounds great.
I think it's great. It's totally got everyone excited about it. So congratulations, everyone.
Thank you. Also, hey, family.
All right, and next up,
Everybody
we
looking
have,
sharp.
I know. Look at this family.
Period.
and next we have Delia's Jubilation with Danielle for your question.
Hi, everyone. Thanks for being here and talking to all of us. My kids are 18, 12, and 2, and all three of them enjoyed it. Like, it was over the 2-year-old's head, but it was so beautifully done that she was completely engaged for at least the first 3 episodes. My questions for the cast, I'll start with, it could go to Priya and Jacoby and then Yvonne and Les, but if you could give advice to a teen and tween who are interested in doing voiceover work, what would be like your number 1 tip?
Hmm. I think one of my biggest things or one of my biggest tips for voiceover work was definitely at first I didn't really know what to do, but it was a big dream of mine to, always do an animated series because I would always see it on TV, I would watch it on Netflix and stuff. Then when I actually got an audition for one, I didn't know what to do, and it was like really kind of chaotic, but I remember my mom, she's now a voiceover coach because she used to coach me through like my first kind of auditions. But I felt like really just, go in there with an open mind, just try different things. I know a lot of people in voiceovers, they do different voices. That helped me, and I was super young back then. But I think definitely just if you have a dream for it and you have a passion, keep pursuing that dream and, just make it happen.
Yeah, I agree because I know for me, when you're kind of like in front of the camera, it's more work physically, but even when you're recording with no cameras around, you also have to be physical to get, especially when there's a lot of action scenes, to get that breathing going and to like really kind of prepare your body for that, for like the sound effects. That's kind of one of the some advice that I would give. Also, I know for me, I have to stand up when I'm doing voiceover. Like when I came in the first day, I tried to be cute and I sat down, but I was like, no, I need to stand up to do voiceover just because I need to connect with the character. So standing up works for me. That's the advice I would give as well.
For sure, it worked for me too. I mean, I'm very handsy, and so I'm all like acting like this, and be like, even when you're hitting the mic, I'm like, ah, heck, So having to be like exude energy, but also keep it like to where it doesn't affect the sound quality. But no, I mean, for me, it was different because with live action, you can play off of your co-stars, you can play off, you can improv, you can feel it out, you can change your inflection. We're kind of kind of doing it in a silo, and so we had to rely really on Everett and Patrick being like, hey, we envision it like this, and but also trusting that who was cast to be amazing. I'm familiar with Laz's work, and so it's like I know he gonna bring it. And so it was that thing of not wanting to be the weakest link, and but also tapping into like the humanity and heart of the character. It's like I don't have kids, I'm not married yet, but I do know this Black woman who is fed up with this Black man and is tired of being disappointed. I was like, oh, I can channel this. I know this slight anger. And so being able to really have fun with that, but also keep it nuanced and have love at the center was fun.
Yeah, it's very collaborative. You're trusting and constantly leaning on Everett and Patrick or your creators to set the scene, set how big the scene is, how big the stage is where you're at on that day or for that scene, how far away the people are that you're speaking to, how much you have to project. Because when we started, our voices were being taken in and our performances were being taken in before the animation was done. So a lot of our performance is what drove the animation to where it needed to be. And they were obviously constantly telling us, steering us in the right direction to be able to give that well-rounded story arc from beginning to the end of season of episode 10. So yeah, I mean, it's a tremendous amount of collaboration, tremendous amount of imagination, and a lot of trust there between all the parties involved. So it was different. It was fun, and one of the best exercises for your imagination.
Congrats, you guys. It's so good. It was really enjoyable.
All right, and next we'll move to Whiskey and Sunshine with Jenna for your question.
Hey, so this is a question for everybody, but I know Patrick and Everett, I spoke with you guys earlier, in your early lead-in days. What, for those of you that have done the characters, do you have any favorite moments or favorite scenes that you recorded for this?
Right, you're muted.
Oh, I have a favorite scene. My favorite scene would be the scene where Lisa was arguing with her dad, and that was kind of emotional. I really had to go there for that scene and like kind of put myself there, because even though I couldn't see the atmosphere, or I wasn't with my dad like face to face, or the person who played my dad face to face, I kind of had to go there mentally. So that was one of my favorite scenes, just because the emotions were heightened, and it's different for like an animation series to show that real and that raw of a daughter and their dad's relationship. So it was very relatable to me, and I feel like it would be relatable to a lot of like young girls watching it.
Yeah. My favorite scene, I think this was the first episode, was when I was asking if we could watch this movie called The Legend of I forgot the name. It was
Gahu.
Gahu. Legend of Gahu. And Lisa just started like going off, and I love how Sean is just sitting there like whose side do I go on? I love that scene. It was like one of my favorite scenes ever. I love it.
All right, is that everyone, or?
Yvonne, did you want to answer?
I'm trying to think, because I'm we did 2 seasons of this, and so I'm kind of like, what was that? I'm like, my mind is like, which one do I don't want to give anything away, so I'm like, it's probably safe if I'll say something.
I loved playing with all the different characters' dynamics, because he had to wear a different hat with every family member for different reasons. With Lisa's character, it was guilt. With his son Jacoby, it was trying to wrangle his energy, but do it in a constructive way, not in a destructive way. With Tess, it was, trying to make up for knowing that he has let her down. And all that while still keeping up a strong image and protecting his family, from both what he sees as a threat, and even those that he works for. It was very layered in that aspect. And I feel like dads that watch this with their kids will definitely see a lot of themselves and their daily struggles projected here in the story.
Yeah, there's some great moments, both, heartfelt and humorous. So it's a good show. Thank you.
All right, we have about 10 minutes left, so let's move on to the Mama Diaries for your question.
Hi guys, I'm Kami from the mamadiaries.com. Everett, Patrick, so nice to see you both again. The series is so great. I really think families are going to embrace it. My question is actually for Priya and Jacoby. I loved the relationship, the brother-sister relationship between the two of you. Priya, I could relate to Lisa totally as being the overprotective big sister. So I know in your voice acting that a lot of times you're by yourself. I was wondering if the two of you were able to ever interact with one another to sort of develop that brother-sister sort of relationship.
No.
No. Oh,
No, you're good. You're good. You're good.
okay. No, like this is my first time meeting everyone. Like this is my first time actually like talking to Jacoby. I think we kind of was focusing on our characters and we kind of had to figure out what our character would be. You know, there were times where the director was like, okay, well, Jacoby did it like this, so could you match this just so it could match, you know, the tone of the scene? But we kind of, since we were so focused on our character, it kind of just showed our chemistry. And yeah, I mean, Jacoby, do you want to add on to that?
No, I think you said it perfectly. I felt like we were so focused on our characters that we end up colliding with other characters and just building chemistry along with building our characters at the same time.
You guys were fabulous. Thank you both so much.
Thank you.
All right, and moving on to Bel Air Mommy.
Hi, you guys. Thank you for being here today. I have to tell you, I love the show because 9 years ago, I started my site based on healthy co-parenting, and I love seeing it on screen. So I wanted to know what similarities do you see in your characters, and what would you like goers to learn from your character?
I think as for Tess, like for me as Yvonne, I like communication and honesty. And so I think that's what she was trying to get from Terry the whole time. Uh so I think just bringing that energy of like, hey, we should be working together and help me. That was kind of the driving force for her.
Yeah, and for Terry, I think he had to learn more than anything how to communicate with his family. You know, he was so busy trying to cover for this other job that he has going on and hurry up and get back before anyone notices that he's gone, that had he been open with them from the gate, and you know, there are reasons why he couldn't be open. More importantly, to protect his family. A lot of this stuff was confidential. You know, no classified documents in the home. We already know that's not allowed. Same thing here. You know, he couldn't open up to his kids, especially. But it just showed that he also had a lot to learn in what it means to love your family. You know, and one of those things is more clear communication from both sides. Also learning to listen, really learning to listen what your family needs from you.
All right. Is that
Thank
everyone?
you.
Okay. And we are moving on to the good, bad dad for your question.
Haha, first dad question. I'm going to you, Laz, as the dad in this film, okay, bud? So I read that you had lost your father at a young age. So I wonder if these kind of roles hit you a bit differently and kind of where you go to channel the fatherly spirit that you showed here.
Yeah, I mean, I lost my father at the age of 14. I did not realize how much I needed him until I graduated from college. I think in my high school and in college years, when you're in a school type of environment where everything is structured, you don't realize how much you need that advice until you're now on your own in an unstructured environment and you have to create that structure. That's where I really felt like I needed him. And in channeling in dealing with Lisa, played by Priya, to me, I felt like she's at that age, that preteen age where, you know, she's no longer, you can't just tell her, oh, daddy's gonna be back, you know, see you in a week. You know, now you got to get a little more detailed and a little more honest and vulnerable, you know, and that to me was where I was able to kind of get that information from, was my own needing information and not getting it because my parent wasn't there, and what she must be going through and how I can relate to that when dealing with that specific character.
All right, I appreciate it. Great film, guys. I really appreciate it. Thank you.
Thank you.
Okay, and next we are moving to Fan Dads for your question.
Everyone, thank you for your time today. I'm loving the show, but could I just say that I think Terry is too young to be rocking the white New Balance kicks. He needs to have some colors in his shoes. I just want to put that out there. He's not middle aged yet. That's middle aged that thing.
Everett, Patrick, that's a
That's
you
on us.
question.
That's on us. That's on.
My buddy said New Balances are back. That's what I heard. That's what I heard.
The ones with the colorways, but not the all white. My question is, I mean, we talked a lot about the family in the show, and then I mean, it's such a great dynamic with everyone. But one question that I have for Patrick and Everett is the music in this show. I mean, like there is some great songs throughout the show. I mean, you guys have Beastie Boys, you have Fushnikins, which I haven't heard in a while, and I'm like, I gotta go pull out my tape and listen to that again. And then you have like episode, I think 7 is called Bizarre Ride, and you have like the Far Side starting that episode. How much did you guys play a part in getting that music into the show?
That's all us. That's, I mean, you know, we really wanted to capture, like, you know, it's between two generations, right? It's like dad's generation, and then it's like, you know, the kids as well. More from dad, right? So we're trying to like, oh, what's on dad's playlist? Like, what's gonna be in his car? Like, what's he gonna be rocking? Like, he's still got CDs, you know, in his car. What's he playing? You know, so a lot of that's just inspired from like the formative years of like when he was growing up and like what he's still listening to.
I would say too that because Fushnikins, that was Ev, that was
Yes.
your, and you were like, I don't know, this is too crazy, and I was like, no, like this sounds great, like that.
It's a deep cut.
And then I was pushing for Far Side.
Yes.
That was like, because to me that just feels so cinematic. That puts you there. It just feels right. But also we got to shout out our music supervisor, Yvette Matoya. She pulled a lot of stuff that we had never heard, and exposed us to a lot of stuff. So we want to shout her out too.
And the music takes you places, you know, like it goes pretty far. And the combination of Yvette and also Joshua Mosley, who did our soundtrack, like we really wanted to capture, like Pat coined this phrase of like hip hop John Carpenter, which, and we were like, yes, like that's the vibe we were going for. So, and we felt like Joshua nailed it.
Yeah, definitely. Because when Intergalactic came on, I was just like, oh my god, this is the greatest thing ever. But thank you very much for your time, and Everett, congrats on the Emmy. And
thank you.
a fellow Chicagoan, Darrell Wicks, says hello and congratulations.
Oh, yeah, man! Talk about deep cuts. Wow, that's amazing.
I guess we ran in the same circle back in the day.
Yeah, that's crazy.
Thank you for watching. If you like what you watch, please subscribe to our channel. Hit the like button, share it with your friends, family if you think they'll be interested in watching what we do, and check us out on our website. Again, thank you very much for watching.